Hello and welcome to another episode. I am Brian, the Unskilled Commander. This is match 2 of my Spider-Man decks. We're going to see how they stack up. I played them a few times in person with real people. They did okay, but they still need more testing to make sure that I can improve them and keep them as streamlined as possible. First 4 turns have already gone through. We'll get to any cards that we played during those turns as we hit each deck. Let's jump into turn 5 here with the Iron Spider. I was able to play 4 lands. Play a Sword of the Animist. On turn 3, I played Iron Spider Stark Upgrade. 2/3 with Vigilance. Tap it to put a +1/+1 counter on all of your artifact creatures and vehicles. Or pay 2 and remove 2 counters from among artifacts you control to draw 1 card. Then on turn 4, I was able to drop both Steel Overseer, which is a 1/1 that says tap, put a counter on each of your artifact creatures, and Marvin Murderous Mimic, which is a 2/2 that says Marvin the Murderous Mimic has all activated abilities of creatures you control that don't have the same name as that creature. So essentially now I have 3 creatures that tap and put +1/+1 counters on my artifacts. That's huge. So we're going to draw for turn. I'm going to play a Karn's Bastion, which is the Wakanda Skyscraper. Tap it to add a colorless or pay 4 and tap it to proliferate. I'm going to tap 2 and put the Sword of the Animist onto the Iron Spider. So it now gets +1/+1, and whenever you attack, you get to search for a basic land card, put it in the battlefield tapped. Then I'm going to tap for 2. Actually, I'm going to tap for 3 and play Brotherhood Vertibird. It's a vehicle, a flyer. It has power equal to the number of artifacts you control with a crew of 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it currently is a 5/4. I'll put it down there. Now I'm going to move to combat. They've got some stuff going on over here, but as I said, they have some blockers. So right now, Iron Spider is a 2, 3, 4. It's a 4/5 with Vigilance, and that's it. So they can't destroy it if blocked, although they have a Death Toucher, so we don't want to swing out there right now. So I'm going to swing at you. Or do I want to swing over there? You got a 3/5. I can't even destroy you even if I want. So yeah, we don't have to go to combat for the triggers or anything like that. So let's hold back for a second and think. Well, the smart thing to do is we're going to copy Iron Spider's ability with Marvin, tapping it to put a counter on every vehicle or artifact creature we control. So these are all going to go up. That's the smart thing, right? Then we tap Steel Overseer to put it onto each artifact creature we control. Now that means the Vertibird is not going to get one because it's still just a vehicle. I could tap the Iron Spider to make it a creature before doing that to maximize counters, but then I'd be really tapped down and the Iron Spider wouldn't be able to attack. However, now it is a 3, 4, 5, 6. Much better. Now we will swing over at Silk. You're not supposed to keep, grudges from past games, but we saw how crazy she went off last time. So we're going to swing into her. Well, it does have Vigilance. So 3, 4, 5, 6. You've got a 6/7 commander coming at you. You have a 3/5, but you really want your commander out because you've got plans. So you're going to take the full 6 damage. So 6 commander damage noted, and you're down to 33 life. I also forgot that once blockers are not declared, you can tap the Iron Spider to activate its ability to put a counter on everything. So technically this would be an extra damage. Before damage is dealt, you do that. When playing with a real group of people, they might not be as lenient to let you do that because you didn't declare it. This is all just me, so we're going to let it go so that we can collectively, you watching and me myself, learn to try and remember to do that and maximize the Iron Spider's abilities. So we are effectively wide open because, again, that is just a vehicle, so we don't have it. But all of our creatures are now pretty powerful. We're going to pass turn. Untapping over here on old Doc Ock. So we were able to play lands. We played a Mob Lookout, which was a 0/3 that says whenever it enters, target creature you control connives. We chose itself so that we got rid of the death of Gwen Stacy to put a counter on it. So now it's a 1/4. We also played Lady Octopus, Inspired Inventor. Whenever you draw your first or second card each turn, put an Ingenuity counter on Lady Octopus. Then you may tap it and cast an artifact spell from your hand with mana value less than or equal to the number of Ingenuity counters on Lady Octopus without paying the artifact's mana cost. And finally, we have Grendel's Spawn of Null. It's a 3/3 flyer with Death Touch, which is a great deterrent. So we're going to move to our untap, upkeep, draw. We're going to draw our first card per turn, which means she gets an Ingenuity counter. We will play the Terramorphic Expanse we just drew, cracking that for, I guess, Island. Now, regrettably, Dr. Octopus is a 7-drop, which makes it very difficult to play if you're not getting good mana rocks out early, especially in blue-black. There's no real super great ramp in those colors, and I'm not getting any artifacts. I can't even use artifacts for Lady Octopus's ability because I'm just not getting them. We have 4 mana. I'm going to keep it for an instant, although we have to try and remember we have this instant, which I never do in these games, but we'll see. We're going to pass turn. Now, also, the idea is to wait until Iron Spider attacks us, but with the Death Touch deterrent, they're probably not going to. So that instant is kind of going to be wasted. We could swing somewhere with the Death Toucher, pretend like we made a mistake, like, oh shit, that was my deterrent, and then let them, try and rope them into attacking us. But it's like, that's a lot of work when you can just sit on the spell, because I have nothing else to cast, so it's not hurting me. We're going to come over here to Silk, Webweaver, untap, upkeep, draw for turn, play a forest. Now, Silk, we got to play just her. She is a 3/5 that says whenever you cast a creature spell, make a 1/1 green and white human creature token, and you can pay 5 mana. Creatures you control get +2/+2 and gain vigilance until end of the turn. Reason why I have nothing else out is because I have some good creatures that I want to wait and cast. So we're going to tap blue forest and a plains to play Gallant Citizen. So on cast, I make a 1/1 human citizen. When Gallant Citizen enters, I draw a card. Then I'm going to tap another white and a green to play Spider Ham, Peter Porker. On cast, I make another citizen. Spider Ham centers. When he enters, I make a food token. So there's my little hot dog. Other spiders, boars, blah, 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 get +1/+1. So really, it's just all the spiders. But there really aren't that many spiders. This isn't, while it's a spider set deck, unlike the Cosmic Spider-Man over here, this isn't built solely from the set. So there are spider characters in here, whichever ones were in white and green that I could put in, that made sense. But there's a lot of other creatures in here that are just designed for good token generation, like Mondrake and Exalted Sun, whatever angel from the thing. So those kind of things are in here. So the Peter Porker thing is not going to benefit us that much. It does help Silk and himself. Or no, it says others. So it really only helps Silk right now. So she is now a 4/6, which is cool. I'm still not going to swing because I want her up for some blocking and, more importantly, to keep her safe for the token generation. But we have a decent board state. We're going to pass turn. Over here for Cosmic Spider-Man, we're going to untap, upkeep, and the only card we played so far was the Clone Saga. So when it first entered, we got the Surveil 3. Now it moves to its second form. It says, when you next cast a creature spell this turn, copy it, except the copy isn't legendary. I did that because I was going to tap these two to play my own Spider Ham, Peter Porker. So when that enters, or when I cast it, I make a copy that isn't legendary. So I have 2 Spider Hams that are 2/2s, and they buff all other spiders. So they're buffing each other, thankfully. So now they're 3/3s. And this is a all Spider-Man set deck, except for a few small exceptions. Now let me see here. We've got, what kind of colors do we need? I'm going to play Multiversal Passage, and I'm going to say green. So it taps for green. I'll try and put it down here with the forest. We still need a lot more lands to get him out, but next turn we might be able to. That's all we can do, though. We're going to pass turn. Back to the Iron Spider. We untap, upkeep, Unskilled. We draw a card for turn. That's pretty cool. Tapping Karn's Bastion for a Soul Ring. Tapping the Soul Ring for a Cyberman Patrol. It's a 2/2 that says artifact creatures you control have Afflict 3. What that means is whenever a creature with Afflict 3 becomes blocked, a defending player loses 3 life. That's a big deal. I'm going to tap 2 and play the equipment Adaptive Omni Tool. This is a big deal. I don't have the 3 mana necessary to equip it, which I could have maybe tried to not play the Cyberman as early so I could equip this, because for Adaptive Omni Tool, the equipped creature gets +1/+1 for each artifact you control, and when the equipped creature attacks, you look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may reveal an artifact card from among them and put it into your hand, rest on the bottom in any order. But that's alright. We're okay. We're fine. But seriously, I'm going to tap Steel Overseer to put a counter on each of my creatures, including the newly minted Cyberman. And I'm going to tap Marvin to copy Iron Spider to do it again, but this time for creatures and vehicles. So now this little vertibird gets 1. I'm going to tap the Cyberman Patrol to crew the Vertibird, so it's a creature, which means I should have done that in a completely different order, like a not stupid person, so that it would have gotten the boost from the Steel Overseer. But again, the stack, the order of operations, think about what you're doing. I missed it, so we're going to learn from it, or not learn from it more likely. But hopefully you learn from it. As it stands, oh, and I also totally forgot last turn to get my waste from Iron Spider's attack. It's not a May ability, so I suppose we could just do that. Which does mean we have enough mana to equip the Adaptive Omni Tool then, if that's the case. Because we did attack with Iron Spider last time. That's why they have 7 commander damage from it. So we would have gotten the sort of the Animus trigger, because again, it's not a May. Oh no, it is a May. Whoops, my bad. So we didn't do it. Good. No succeeding through failure. So we're back to where we were. Fine. We are now going to move to combat. The Vertibird, its power is equal to the number of artifacts you control. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it is an 8/4 with 3 counters on it. So it's actually an 11/7 flyer. That's pretty sweet. Again, they have a flying death touch, unfortunately. And over here for Stark, for Iron Spider, I shouldn't call it Stark. 2, 3, and 6 is 9. So it's actually weaker than the Vertibird, which is interesting. But that's just because if we had the Omni Tool, this thing would be insane. See, that's the thing. That a little 3/3 Death Toucher is stopping me from swinging massive amounts of damage over at the villain deck. And that's just how it is, because why would I don't want to lose my Iron Spider. Yes, I can recast it, and I have enough to recast it, but it doesn't have haste, so that's going to slow things down. And if I swing my awesome Vertibird in, it doesn't have trample, so they just chump block it, and I lose a giant flying 11-something that's just going to keep getting bigger. So I definitely don't want to swing the flyer over there. We're going to move to combat. I'm going to swing the Vertibird over at you. I'm going to I'll go ahead and tap Spider-Man to activate his ability and increase everyone by 1. Tapping down, so I will be completely open, but it's now going to be 12 damage in the air at you. That's making me a target from them, and I am kind of fixating on them, but they do have the best board state, not with counting the Death Toucher. Even with Spider-Ham, they probably will get the commander out next turn, but that's just going to be 2 3/3s and a 6/6. The life gain and the trample and the flying aspect will come into play and will be important. But right now, I think Iron Spider is trying to take out a known quantity that is already pretty beefed up. But that's all we're going to do. We're going to pass turn. Untap over here. Draw for turn. Oops, I forgot that. So that's going to put a counter on her. Unfortunately, see, here we go. We're not getting the mana anymore because, which slows us down, because that means we're losing out on being able to play the Doctor. I've got some good removal and stuff, but it's like, well, they're not really attacking me because of my defenses, so there's no real point in wasting it. Let them take each other out, right? You know, there's a point where it's like, yeah, you can contribute to the game, but A, it's going to make you a target because people are going to get upset that you took away their stuff, and B, you have no way to really do anything important afterwards. That's something that's really important. You don't want to, I'm okay with people board wiping and not having the immediate win. I know people hate this. Like, no, I'm not going to just let you win when I want to play the game. But it's not, you don't want to board wipe when there's just absolutely nothing you can do. You want to board wipe, but it's like, well, but I have a chance. I have these in my hand. If I can just get 2 more turns, I can get going, but I need to buy that time. Right now, I don't have the mana to do anything big. I have 1 creature in my hand. I still don't have the mana for that. It's a 6. He's a 7. I need more. I don't have any artifacts, nothing. So let them take each other out for a while, and then, so we're going to pass turn. And then when they finally start, targeting us, then we can use those spells. We untap over here. Upkeep, draw. Play Plains for turn. 1, 2, 3, 4. Parallel lives. If an effect would create 1 or more tokens under your control, it creates twice that many instead. Would be great if I didn't have nothing but lands and a 1 spell, which I can use the spell next turn, which will kind of help, but it's not doing much for me right now. I think I will tap 2 and sack the food to gain 3 life, buy myself a little time, and then pass turn. We're going to go over here, untap, upkeep, draw. Cool, I'll play a Plains for turn. So let's see what kind of mana. Well, first of all, sorry. At the upkeep, we've got the 3rd and final phase of Clone Saga. Choose a card name. Whenever a creature with the chosen name deals combat damage to a player this turn, draw a card. I'm going to say Spider-Ham, because I can swing both of them and draw 2 cards. But then this goes away. Now we play our land for turn. I don't know if we have enough to cast our commander, though. And I already forgot what I said that was going to count as. So we've got green, white, red, blue. Did I say that was black or did I say that was red? No, I said it was green, didn't I? Because I have a double green card in my hand. Yep, I do not have enough to cast the commander. I need one more actual color. But what we can cast, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Ezekiel Sims Spider Totem. It's a 3/5 with reach. At the beginning of combat on your turn, target spider you control gets +2/+2 until end of turn. So that's pretty sweet. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move to combat. I'm going to swing both of these spider hams at you. I'm going to choose at the beginning of combat that this one gets the buff. So it's 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 damage coming your way. You have no blockers. You're down to 32 life. And because of the Clone Saga, whenever a creature with the chosen name deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. 2 of them did it, so I draw 2 cards. That did not help, but hopefully it speeds me up to something that will. Pass turn. I have to admit, on Moxfield, this Cosmic Spider-Man deck has done well. In real life, it is not. It's partially because of shuffling, I'm assuming, but I'm going to have to go back through the Moxfield and maybe lower the amount of instants and sorceries and increase the amount of creatures by, just 1 or 2. Because I'm just not getting creatures and not getting the right lands. And I have 37 lands in that deck, so it's not like it's any less than anything else. But it is a 5-color deck, so that, of course, does mean things are more difficult. And I only chose the non-basic lands that were in the Spider-Man set, not counting things like Mirrored Landscape, Terramorphic, Expanse, Evolving Wilds to go get the basics. So it should be okay in terms of balancing itself, but I also don't have a ton of mana rocks. I only have the Arcane Signet in that sense. So that's probably one of the reasons why it's not getting the right land colors as quickly as it should. Turn 5 at the latest, turn 5 I should be casting Cosmic Spider-Man. 6 at the latest, but whatever. We untap over here. We upkeep, we draw. Definitely going to play the Waste for turn. Tapping 3 to equip the Adaptive Omni tool onto Iron Spider for sure. I have 5 mana left, but unfortunately I have a 6-drop in my hand, so that's not going to help. I'm going to tap the Cyberman to crew the Vertibird, so it's an actual creature this time, doing that first. And then we're going to tap these 2, doing their respective abilities. So everything gets 1, and then everything gets another 1. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 artifacts on the field. The base power of the Vertibird is an 8, but that means that Iron Spider is getting an extra 8 as well off of the Adaptive Omni tool. So it's 8, 9, 10, 11. So it is currently a 20, 21. Very cool. See, now the problem is really no one is a huge threat except for myself at this point in the game. Iron Spider is the threat, clearly. I can get through over here, but it's going to cost me. I need to try and figure out something to get rid of. I need something to get rid of that stupid Grendel, which isn't very easy in a colorless deck. I'm going to move to combat. I'm going to swing the Vertibird at you because you still have 39 life. I'm just going to leave Spider-Man up, and I'm not even going to activate his ability. So as we said, 8 base plus the 6. So it's 14 now in the air. You have a reach, so you're going to block it, but my creatures have Afflict 3, so you're going to take 3 damage. Down to 36 life. That's putting the pressure on. You no longer have the reach. We'll see. Pass turn. Over here, we're going to untap, upkeep, draw our first card of the game, or the turn. Hopefully not the game. This is going to go up to 4. Yeah, just really getting bad cards and not bad cards, but things that don't help in the situation and not lands. I need 2 more lands for crying out loud. We're going to pass. There's nothing I can do. It's disappointing because I know these decks can be better than this, and it's upsetting that you don't see anything being impressive except for Iron Spider. But whatever. You did see, the first game had Silk do impressive stuff super fast. So, I mean, it's not like it's a complete, the decks are garbage. It's like, no, the decks are good. It's just a matter of the card draw, really. So we're going to untap, upkeep, draw. Going to play a Rogue's Passage for turn, tapping 2, one of which being white, to play Intangible Virtue, an enchantment that says creature tokens you control get +1/+1 and have vigilance. Very cool. You know what? That's fine. I'm going to do this then. I'm going to tap 2 white and then tap my last 3 mana, X being 3, For White Sun's Twilight, I'm going to gain 3 life, or rather I'm gaining X life, which again was 3, up to 26 life. Then create X 1/1 colorless Phyrexian Might artifact creature tokens with Toxic 1, and this creature can't block. If X is 5 or more, destroy all other creatures. It wasn't. But the point is, we're going to make 3 1/1 mights that can't block, but we have parallel lives out. So that doubles the amount of tokens, so it's actually 6. So we now have 6 1/1s with Vigilance, along with 2 human 2/2s with Vigilance. So we have a pretty strong board state. They're just fairly small power right now. However, on next turn, we could theoretically activate Silk's ability, buffing every creature by +2/+2, and swing in for some decent damage. Regrettably, I have 3 cards in my hand. They are all lands, so we need to top deck some really good stuff on the next turn to really have a chance at going in on this one. Again, no one has any kind of evasion or interesting, like no trample, no flying, no menace, no nothing. So we're just going to hold back and pass turn. Well, come on, Cosmic Spider-Man, show me what you got. Boom. Nope, you did not. But it is something we can at least cast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to cast Spider-Man India. It's a 4/4. It says, whenever you cast a creature spell, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. It gains flying until end of turn. And because of the 2 Spider Hams, this is now a 6/6. So that's pretty sweet. And I can play another land, or a land for turn, which is going to be Command Beacon. A great card. It says you taps for a colorless, or tap and sacrifice Command Beacon to put your commander into your hand from the command zone. So that's a great card to sit on. And then if I had actually been able to play Cosmic Spider-Man on proper turn, and it got blown up, and now it costs 7, or blown up a second time, and now it costs 9, sacrifice Command Beacon, jump into my hand, it's back down to its normal 5-drop. Great way to get past the command attacks. But I don't really want to swing. Bit of a stalemate right now, so we're going to pass turn. Because everyone's trying to watch what Iron Spider does and where it's going and stuff. So untap over here. Upkeep. Draw for turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to play. Oh, this is going to help. Okay. I was just doing it, and I wasn't even fully realizing the card I was playing. I'm like, yeah, sure, we'll play this one first instead. Wait a second. Sky Sovereign Console Flagship. It's a flying 6/5. But whenever it enters the battlefield or attacks, it deals 3 damage to target creature or planeswalker an opponent controls. Hey, guess what? Bye-bye. You are no longer protected, but you are because they have really good spells in hand, so... But we, the Iron Spider, don't know that. We just think, ha, we got you now, even though they are in a blue deck and they have a ton of mana open, so you really shouldn't think it's just nothing. But what we're going to do, same as always, we're going to tap the Cyber Patrol Ship to crew the Vertibird so that it gets all of the counters. We're going to tap Marvin, mimicking the Iron Spider, so that everything gets a counter, including the new Sky Sovereign that just came in. Now we tap Steel Overseer to give everything a counter as well, except for the Sky Sovereign, because we weren't able to crew that one. And we did just add in a new artifact. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So these go up as well. 9 and 11 is 20, 21, 22, 23. Iron Spider is lethal commander damage. And the Vertibird is a 17 in the air. Now here's the thing, I'm tempted to swing both things over there, but it's not like there's some big scary menace that, oh my god, they were going to win. They just had a Death Toucher that was keeping us at bay. That's it. They're not the threat, and we've been ignoring them. So we don't, I think from a gameplay standpoint, it's like, yeah, we can finally get in, but there's no point in like going crazy with it. They now have a bunch of tokens out. They're going to start buffing things. They're already getting some buffs. They're going to start being dangerous. So we should focus on that. Now, according to my calculations, if they stack blocked everything against the Iron Spider, they still couldn't kill it. I believe they have, even with all the buffs, they have 23 damage, whereas he has 24 toughness. Because it's 20, 21, 22, 23 is his attack, but he's got the 2, 3 higher toughness, so it's 23, 24. And they can do 23 damage. So I have to admit, I'm kind of tempted in swinging both of these over there, but I'm trying to make sure I'm not doing it because I know what's in this hand. But again, they're not a threat. It's not like I'm ignoring the big scary threat because I know they have a counterspell or whatever. It's because I'm like, no, these are getting big. All they have to do is drop a Crater Hoof next turn, and they can probably win. They don't have it in their hand, but they could top deck it, and I don't know what they have in their hand. And we do know that if nothing else, they can activate her ability to give everything +2/+2 in Vigilance. So all the tokens would be 4/4s, and there are 8 of them. That's still a lot of damage. And we tap down when we attack. So I think that's what we're gonna do. These two are doing stuff, but not fast enough to be a super threat. We are leaving ourselves wide open at 32 life, but I'm going to swing both of these at you. A 17 in the air, which you cannot stop because you do not have reach. That has vigilance. And then a 23/24, but it just has vigilance. There's no... I think I still missed that damn thing, but this time I'm doing it. I'm getting a land. And on attack, we have this ability now. We have, look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may reveal an artifact and put it into your hand. I don't even think it's much of a contest. We're gonna do Cyberman Squadron, reveal that, put it into our hand, put the rest in the bottom in any order. That's a next turn drop. Everyone can see that. That's super scary. It's gonna give all of my non-legendary artifact creatures Myriad. So at that point, we wouldn't bother tapping to beef up anymore. It would just be a matter of like tapping that to Crew the Brotherhood and then just swing these 4. Well, hang on a second. Marvin is also a legendary, so we would tap him to activate his ability just because it wouldn't help us. So really only the Steel Overseer and the Brotherhood would get the Myriad, but it would still come in with a ton of counters and do some serious damage. From what I understand, I was talking to people at Atlanticon, which just happened. As this airs, that will have been like last year, but whatever. And I thought they were just going to come in as base, whatever the card was, but I was told that it will... I don't know the state-based action. I don't know what action it is, but like it's going to look at what is attacking and take a copy of that, and not take a copy of the base portion only. Meaning, if I attacked with the Cyberman, it's got 7 counters. Its power and toughness is 9. It would make an additional 9/9 attacking my other opponents as well, not a 2/2. That's what I'm told. If I'm wrong, please let me know in the comments if that's not how these kind of things work, because I don't want to play that improperly. But anyway, we are attacking you with that. Now, here's the thing. He's got vigilance, but that's it. You can chump block, which is what we will do. We will get rid of one of... Oh, these can't block. So I'm going to get rid of a citizen. That's that. Okay. That happened. Boom, whatever. Down to 9 life. That's pretty good, but that's all we can do. I have 3 mana up. Nothing I can play for 3 mana. No activated abilities or anything. I can remove some counters and draw a card, to be fair, with that mana. So you know what? Why not do that? Why don't we tap 2 mana to remove 2 counters from among card effects you control? So I'm going to remove 2 of them from the Cyberman because he's just crewing. We don't need him to have them. So I can draw a card. Cool. That's actually a really good card to draw. I will then pass turn. Hey, it's a land. Now, here's the thing. I have enough mana to cast the creature in my hand. However, if I do, then I no longer have the mana to cast the instant that would stop me from getting hit by something crazy big. Now, they are down to 9 life. They don't have reach currently. They could get it on the next turn. Who knows? But as it stands, Iron Spider will probably just send the Vertibird over to finish the job, and one of us is going to have to worry about the Iron Spider. Okay, I think I know what we're going to try and do. I'm going to put this here to try and remind myself to do it, because basically at their end step, I'm going to do something. So we're going to nope, I'm going to pass turn. Everyone's going to be like, man, you got a bunch of cards in hand. There's no way you don't have something going on over there. It's like, hey, I got no creatures. What do you want from me? Ah, you have no creatures, eh? So we untap, upkeep, draw. That's a land. That does not help. So I play that land. Still got 3 lands in my hand. Now they have 1 blocker and 32 life. If we activate her ability, we would have 7 creatures that are 4/4s. So that's not a ton of... if we swung with everything, it would definitely block and kill Silk. So that means everything else would get through. But these are the only things getting any real buffs. But if we activate her ability and swing, right? You're going to block the commander to kill it, and that's the biggest damage anyway. 7 1/1s is 28. 7 times 4, rather. It's 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. So it's 35 damage getting through. Man, that kind of feels bad because Silk took them out first last game as well. But to be fair, I mean, they've been pounding, going back, and I'm not going to say that, but they've been attacking Silk the entire game. That's why Silk is at 9 life. Also, however, if we do that, we are tapped out, and anyone else can swing in and pretty much take us out no problem. So you start to wonder, like, well, is that a spite move now? Are we at a spite level? It says like, well, you know what? I'm just going to take us both out, jerk. Like, I take you out, they take me out, and then, nobody wins. It's like, well, we don't win. And it's one of them. And they haven't been doing very well or haven't been doing crap the whole game, so it's always a semi-feel bad when you get to win that way, because it's almost like a pity thing. Like, a win's a win. We've gone over this. I've talked about this in episodes and such, so whatever. But I'm not saying that, you should feel bad about it. I'm just saying that I personally am not crazy when I win a game like that, where everyone leaves me alone and I just come in from the very end and take out whoever's last. And it's like, I would prefer to be a bit of a threat and win through it. But unfortunately, that's the only way to get rid of the Iron Spider. We would have to swing everything over there. And if we don't, we know we absolutely die to it, because they have a flyer and we don't have anything. We don't know what they have in their hand, what they're going to do. They're not getting anything good. We need one more, we need like a red or something. Basically we need a mountain in order to color balance enough to get the Cosmic Spider-Man out. Or the Arcane Signet, one of the two. I don't know. What would you do in this kind of situation? I think I'm just going to have to do it. I'm going to full send. Well, I'm going to activate her ability first in main phase, and then go to combat, full send at you. As we said, the biggest creature, because she's getting her own buff so that she is now a 5/7. You're going to block and destroy it with the Iron Spider. She will cost 2 more to cast if she were going to survive that long. However, we have 7 4/4s, which is 28 and then 29. 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. You take 35, you're at 32. Boom. Iron Spider is out again. But we are completely tapped out. We pass turn. They untap over here. They're like, man, this is crazy. Nope. That's another freaking instant that does not help me. But we'll do this then. We're going to tap a blue, a black, and then 2 others to play Superior Spider-Man. It's a 4/4, but it has Mind Swap. You may have Superior Spider-Man enter as a copy of any creature in a graveyard, except his name is Superior Spider-Man and he's still a 4/4. Spider Human Hero, in addition to his other types, when you do exile that card. I don't think there's anything in any graveyards that I really want, other than I'm going to copy Ezekiel, which means it's exiled, but that just means at the beginning of combat, target spider is going to get +2/+2. So 3, 6, and 4, 10. We don't even have to do the actual ability, but we're going to send these. Well, wait a second. What's the best? 4, 5, 6. Yeah, unfortunately, we have to send all 3, because the way the math works out, it's even with the +2 buff, it just doesn't work out right. So we're going to send all 3 of these over at you, take you out, just because you still do have quite a few. You can recast her and activate her ability on your next turn, so we don't want that. We have a 4/4 up for blocking. You are not really poised to do anything, but we'll see. Pass turn. All right, we untap, upkeep, draw. We drew a card, so she gets a counter. I mean, she is now a 5/7. No, that's not affecting her power and toughness. That's just an ingenuity counter. So I don't even put it down here. Like, she's just a 0/2, and that is just a 1/4. All right, but this time we are going to tap all of them. Now that the big dogs are kind of out of the way, we're going to play Vulture, Scheming Scavenger, a flying 4/6. When it attacks another villain, other villains you control gain flying until end of turn, so all of them gain it. But that's all we can do. We're going to go ahead and pass turn. Untap over here. Upkeep. Draw for turn. Black and 2 others. Risky Research. Surveil 2, draw 2, and lose 2. Down to 34 life. Well, I'm going to dump the plains because we don't need that, but we're going to draw 2. Okay, that'll help. I did not play a land for turn, so I will play the Plaza of Heroes that I just drew. You can tap for colorless or tap to add 1 mana of any color. Spend this mana only to cast a legendary spell, which our commander is, thankfully, so that will come in handy next turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, technically, it almost, except for the fact that I didn't know I was getting that, so I can't, like, this is a green as well. So if I'd have known, I could have maybe tapped differently, but obviously I didn't, so that's fine. We have a 4/6 flyer. They can give those other creatures flying, but again, it's a 0/2, so they're not going to attack with her. And we got a 1/3, so even if okay, wow, an extra 1. Really, the only threat is the 4/6. I am going to tap for the green to play the radioactive spider I drew. Reach and Death Touch. Reach and Death Touch. So screw your stupid flying dude. Oh, I forgot to do that when I cast that. Let's see. When you cast a creature spell, okay, so it's not a May. I will put a +1/+1 counter on that. And then now I will put a +1/+1 counter on him. Is it other? on target creature you control. So I'll put it on himself. 5/5, that's great, but nothing I can really do with it. All right, we're going to pass turn. And this is the problem with building a deck solely from a specific set. There are going to be interactions and some stuff, but it's never enough of what you need to make a really strong, powerful deck. And I don't mean CDH level, I just mean solid, good deck. Both of these two clearly need more card draw aspects and some more mana rocks to like get going faster. I did put mana rocks into this because this one is not as I don't mind making this one a little looser. It is mainly from the Spider-Man set, but it doesn't have to be as strict as I'm trying to make that one. But anyway, we're going to draw another card, or draw for turn rather. Play that. All right, now that's 7. So we play land for turn, 7 mana. Boom, we're going to play Dr. Octopus Master Planner. However, we're going to tap for a blue and one other to play Spider Sense. Counter target instant spell, sorcery, or... Oh, wait, I can't do that. And I don't have double blue for... Nope, it's not a legendary counterspell. Okay, yeah. I was all like, oh, I got a counterspell in hand, no worries. It's like, oh, nope. That doesn't stop creatures. So, we've got Dr. Octopus, Master Planner. So 4/8. Other villains get +2/+2. Your maximum hand size is 8. At the beginning of your end step, if you have less than 8 cards in hand, you draw the difference. These 2 cards are kind of useless. We've got the Vulture. He is now a 6/8 flyer. And when he attacks, other villains get flying. So that means the Doctor will get it next turn. So we're going to move to combat. You don't have any flying, but you do have reach with... That's the thing. You have reach with Death Touch. So would we attack? I think we're going to want to wait until we get some more creatures out. And we have something that we can actually get rid of some stuff with. So yeah, we're going to... Oh, I'm not going to swing into a Death Touch past turn. Again, that deck over there being shady. Untap over here. Upkeep, draw. Now, tap that for green, for white, for black, for red, and for blue to play a legendary spell, Cosmic Spider-Man. Or more accurately, Captain Universe. Flying, first strike, trample, lifelink, haste, 5/5. At the beginning of combat on your turn, other spiders gain all of those keywords. You'll notice these are all spiders. So we're going to move to combat. And that's the thing. So move to combat, everything gets flying, first strike, trample, lifelink, haste. I'm just going to full swing. First of all, sorry. When I cast a creature, I get to put a counter on something, so I will, of course, put it onto Cosmic Spider-Man. These 2 Spider Hams are giving +2/+2 to all the other creatures and +1/+1 to themselves. On combat, because this is a copy of Ezekiel, I'm going to give Cosmic Spider-Man we'll just give it to Cosmic Spider-Man. We'll just buff that up all the way. So, Cosmic Spider-Man is a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. A 10/10 trample, flying, lifelink, haste, blah, blah, blah. We can stack block and kill it theoretically. Well, no, we only have 1 flyer. That is currently, yeah. And see, this is where it's like, well, at this point, we've almost got it. So let's just do the math on the damage first. As I said, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. So that is 32 damage coming at you. I'm going to gain 32 life no matter what you do. Well, not no matter what you do. If you were able to stop damage, I wouldn't. But, yeah, I'm going to gain 32 up to 66. You only have 1 flyer. And the point is, like, what do you even block? I guess you could block one of the Spider Hams is the smart one to help lower the buffs. So I block the real Spider Ham with my 6/8, and this is a 2/3, and that's actually, yeah. So the Spider Ham dies, the Vulture actually sticks around. So that's the smart way of doing it. But you take 29. You take 29. You are at 8 life, and I'm at 66. That's how powerful the Cosmic Spider-Man is. The whole, like, late game didn't really do much until it finally came out, but we had at least a couple creatures out. Boom. Instant life gain back up to the top, and off we go. So we're past turn. Untap, upkeep, draw a card, another ingenuity counter her. Now, it's just the deck's not built around her. I just wanted a bunch of villains within the right colors to go in there. Okay. We're going to do this. This is going to be interesting. Well, it's going to be risky is what it's going to be, but we're going to try it. I am going to tap for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and play Villainous Wrath. Target opponent, you, loses life equal to the number of creatures they control, then destroy all creatures. So they're going to lose 5 life. We do have a counter spell in hand. we do not have the blue, and we actually have Spider Sense and Counterspell. We cannot stop either one because we don't have the blue. So these all get destroyed. 2 extra to recast that. Now here's the thing. All of my creatures get destroyed as well. And I am going to let Dr. Octopus go to the graveyard. That should tell you something. But I'm going to go ahead and pass turn. We're going to untap over here, upkeep, draw for turn. Still not a land. But now we know we have the means to make Wooburg, and then we just need to pay 2 more to recast Cosmic Spider-Man. I have no 1-drop spiders. We're going to move to combat, hit you with 5 more commander. Now, it was 10 originally, so you are at 15 commander damage, so 1 more hit's going to kill you. Well, we need to buff him, but yeah. And the simple point is we're down to 3 life. So we're going to go ahead and pass turn. I don't think this is going to work out in Doc Ock's favor, but this is just a cool trick. I want to see how it pays out. Untap, upkeep, draw for turn. Vibrant Cityscape, we're going to crack that for a blue, actually. Just enough. Yep, we're going to tap 7 to cast Behold the Sinister Six. Return up to 6 target creature cards with different names from your graveyard to the battlefield. Oh, hey, look, our commander. 1, 2... Let's see here. Definitely null. And actually that's, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we only had 5 in the graveyard in the first place. And let's read these. When the mob lookout enters, target creature you control connives. I think we're going to have Dr. Octopus connive. So we're going to draw a card. I'm going to get rid of Robotics Mastery. So he will get a counter. I did draw a card. Actually, I did draw a card, so that means Lady Octopus gets her Ingenuity counter. Now, no one has haste, but we do have 2 flyers, one of which has Death Touch. So that does buy us a little time. We're kind of dragging the game out, especially when they have 61 life and we have 3. The likelihood of us winning this is pretty low, but we'll see. Pass turn. This is how the deck should have been performing the entire time, not letting these 2 do everything and then waiting. But we untap, upkeep, draw for turn. We're going to tap everything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. To play the enchantment Web of Life and Destiny. At the beginning of combat on your turn, look at the top 5 cards of your library, put a creature card from among them onto the battlefield, rest on the bottom in any order. In a random order, sorry. So we're going to move to the beginning of combat. We don't have to reveal them, I'm just going to put them out here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to put Spider, plotted by Penny, onto the battlefield. So when she enters, target creature gets a +1/+1 counter, and if a modified creature deals damage to an opponent, if a modified creature you control deals damage to a player, you draw a card. Now, continuing on with the beginning of combat, now all of my spiders get all of the keywords, so I do have 10 flying damage. However, they have a Death Toucher, but the problem is when they swing, all of their creatures are going to get flying. But the 2 little ones they're literally just 0/0s. They're 0-somethings. They're not going to swing. And if they swung everything at us, then they would be vulnerable. So they actually can't. We're kind of at a stalemate until one of us out-ramps the other in terms of creatures. Now, we do have the life link, but that's irrelevant. We're well above their life total. We don't need to go swinging to gain life. I'm going to go ahead and pass turn. Having that Web of Life and Destiny on the field is going to be really helpful to try and outpace them. So we untap over here, upkeep, draw. We drew a card, so this gets a thing. Oops, that's not a land. That is a used spell. I'm going to tap 2 blue to play Hydra Man Fluid Felon. It's a 2/2. Whenever you cast a blue spell, if Hydra Man is a creature, he gets a +1/+1 until end of turn. At the beginning of your end step, untap him, and until your next turn, he becomes a land that taps for a blue. We are going to tap for 3 and play the Spots Portals onto your commander. Put target creature on the bottom of its owner's library. You lose 2 life unless you control a villain. I don't lose 2 life, thank goodness. But Cosmic Spider-Man goes to the bottom of your library, which means you're going to put it back in the command zone. It now costs 4 extra to cast. That's a big deal. But we do have the command beacon out, so now you don't have flyers. You can probably recast it on your turn, because like we said, we cracked the command beacon and we have the Wooburg. So swinging out is going to be iffy. But we have the Death Touch. Nope. We need to have 2 flyers up. I don't know. All they have to do is recast their commander and have just enough mana to cast a small creature, and they've got it. They should. Because we have 2 flyers. If they have 3 flyers, they're going to win. And us swinging in right now is not going to do enough damage to have any kind of value. Oh, I forgot about the drawing up to my 8. Darn it. I forgot it. It's fine. Whatever. We're going to do it now. We're going to move to the end step. 1. So it's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. That could have come in a lot handy, probably, but we're going to pass. See? Having so many creatures out with so many different bizarre triggers is also an issue for both the Spider-Man and the Doc Ock deck because they're not synergized to themselves. They're all random. They work pretty decent, but they're different, so you have to be aware of that. So now, Hydra Man is a land. He's not a creature. You remember that kind of crap. So we untap over here, upkeep, draw for turn. It's a land, it's going to come in tapped. I'm going to go ahead now. We're going to sacrifice the command beacon to put him into my hand, and then we're going to tap everything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to recast the commander. Oh, and that's pretty much going to be it because now we move to the beginning of combat. We only have 2 mana, not enough to actually do anything. But we go to the beginning of combat, we activate Web of Life and Destiny. As long as we don't whiff, we win. See, there's one creature right there, and that's the only one. But yeah, so these all go in the bottom. We play Silk, Web Weaver. Hey, we know that, but we're going to move to combat. We've got a 4/4, a 5/5, and a 3/3. We're swinging in. You block the commander with your Death Touch. You block the 4/4 with your 4/6. Actually, they're all getting buffed from Dr. Octopus, of course. So these two die, these two die, rather. But Silk is a 3/3 that gets 3 through. You got 3 life. Ba-boom. These are your only flyers. No reach. Yep, you'd think Dr. Octopus would have reach, but whatever. There you go. Cosmic Spider-Man is your winner of the second game. Little iffy. Wasn't really that great of a win, but a win's a win, as we always say in Commander and Magic in general. There you go. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Please subscribe, throw some likes around, follow me on the other socials so that you can see when I'm doing my charity streams with awesome content creators throughout the year raising money for Extra Life on Twitch. So go follow me on Twitch and Blue Sky. Those are your 2 best bets to make sure you don't miss the Commander streams because I promote them across Blue Sky throughout the, as they lead up to it. But I hope you enjoyed the episode. I hope you saw some cool cards, and let me know what you have built or are building from the Spider-Man set. And I will see you next time.